The day of Pentecost was fully come. They were all in one place. They were all in one accord. And suddenly there came a sound like a mighty rushing wind. It filled the house where they were sitting. All right. Today's video is about the last days and the outpouring of God's Spirit. Let's read it. Oh, that was the introduction, by the way. That was the preview to what happened as to why I'm finna get into what I'm talking about. The Holy Ghost coming in, or they were in the room, upper room, tarrying. That's what that was. If you didn't get it, let's do it again. That is a song called Catch on Fire by Carlton Peterson, I think. Might have butchered that. But Peter, standing up with the 11, lifted up his voice and said unto them, Ye men of Judea, and all ye that dwell at Jerusalem, be this known unto you, and hearken to my words. For these are not drunken, as ye suppose, seeing it is but the third hour of the day. But this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith God, I will pour out of my spirit upon all flesh. And your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old man shall dream dreams. Let's go ahead and keep reading. And on my servants and on my handmaidens I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. And I will show wonders in heaven above, and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before that great and notable day of the Lord come. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Now, it just dawned on me earlier today while reading this that this is the last days, right? But Peter was talking about this shortly after Jesus died. So what dawned on me was that the last days began right after Jesus died. And the prophet Joel prophesied about this because he was in the first days. So before Jesus was, just the days, I don't know. After Jesus, when Jesus died, that began the last days. But here we go. This says, the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before that great notable day of the Lord come. So we're in the last days, and there is a outpouring of the Spirit upon all flesh happening, because this is the last days, and God is not a liar. He does not lie. It's not in his nature. It's not in his being. The last days begin when Jesus died, and they'll end when he comes back. And in the sense of the last days are not just the last days right before. Also, they're the last days because Jesus already came. Now he's coming back, and God exists outside of time. And in the Bible, it says 1,000 years is as a day, and a day as 1,000 years with the Lord. So therefore, the last days, it's been 2,000 years, but 2 days. That's why it's the last days, because God is outside of this thing. And whether he comes back right now, tomorrow, in a minute, before you ever see this video, or he comes back in 2,000 more years, which I don't think is happening. I think it's very soon to be coming. We are in the last days, and there is a outpouring. Here it says, and it shall come to pass in the last days, saith God, I will pour out of my spirit upon all flesh. Why is that? Because before Jesus came, there were certain ones, right? There were certain ones that had the Spirit of God. But now it is open to whomever. Listen to what he said. And it shall come to pass that whoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. This is the last days because Jesus died, making it the last days before he comes back. If he had not died yet, it wouldn't be the last days because he would first have to come for the first time before he could come back. But now Jesus is coming again. When he returns again, he's going to split the eastern sky. Let's put it that way. Every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess, and he's going to judge the world. He's going to come back as the judge, as the ruler of the world, not meek and lowly in a manger. This is the last days. There is an outpouring of his Spirit, and what you want, you can get. Whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved in the last days. This is the last days, and today was the first day it dawned on me that ever since Jesus died, this became the last days, and there's an outpouring of his Spirit upon all flesh. But he also said, whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord, not just pouring it on everybody, but who calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. And that's who he's pouring his spirit on, because it's the last days. And that's how things work now, because Jesus died. How great is that? This is just like an exciting video. It's just more like an explanation. This is the last days. Not really nothing. Wow, Jared, that was brilliant, but more just exciting. This is the last days. I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. That is a great thing for us as children of God to know. So, call on the name of the Lord, you shall be saved. And he's pouring out his spirit. You seek him more, he'll pour out some more. So thank God for it. Thank God for Jesus. Thank God for the last days. Because when the last days are over, we shall all be at home with the King. Thank you so much for watching. I love y'all. Really appreciate you for just taking the time out of your day to watch these videos and maybe learn a little bit about God. Something that you haven't heard, maybe something that you have heard, just confirming, whatever the case may be. I'm so thankful that you chose to spend your 6 minutes, 7 minutes here. Thank you so much. There is a video here if you want to spend some more minutes, and a subscribe button there if you're interested in this type of content. Thank you so much. Until next time, peace.